Yo, what's good people? Welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to be explaining to you guys that if you're not posting online as a musician, you're just lazy. There's no way around it. You're simply just lazy, and I'm going to be explaining this very brutal, very harsh reality in this video. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why that posting online is actually awesome and that every musician should be doing it. And if you're not doing it, you're seriously shooting yourself in the foot. And this is what we're going over in this video. So first things first, so many musicians that I've talked to that want to make it big, they want to get on the stages, they want to build their fan base. Like, even me saying that, like, how do you even build your fan base without like social media presence? It doesn't make sense. But anyways, like, they want to build their fan base, they want to get on stage, they want to make merch sales, they want to make a living out of music, all of these things. Yet they also say that posting online, that's for like influencers, that's just cringe. So that's one thing. Like, you can just say you're insecure, all right, that's one thing. But also, for the people that just refuse to do it, you're lazy and you're not going to be able to compete. Now, this isn't just going to be a video of me just digging into these people, as it might already sound like it already. But honestly, I make these videos, believe it or not, to actually try and help people and get them a step closer to that dream, like where you can get one step closer to living full time, doing what you love as a musician via the vehicle being posting online. I actually try to help people out with that, believe it or not. And basically, so many of you guys think that it's just a waste of time and that it's for like cringe people. But like, dude, how else are you going to make it? And let me make this example. So a lot of you guys say that, imagine telling Jimmy Page or Kurt Cobain, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, Ozzy Osbourne, Chuck Berry, whoever the hell. I don't know, I can only think of guitarists right now. But imagine telling these people that, imagine telling them you have to make 6 TikToks a day and do these trends. It's just a stupid argument. I have no idea where this came. I know where it came from. Just insecure, lazy people that don't want to put in the work. But when you make that argument, not only does it not make sense, because obviously they didn't have TikToks and stuff back then, but the argument you're actually making is telling these guys back then, being like, imagine telling these guys they had to use the medium of media, like they couldn't use the media in which they'll get people to listen to their songs. What you're actually saying is, imagine telling Ozzy Osbourne you had to sell CDs and get on the like TV commercials, whatever. Imagine telling Bob Marley you had to sell record tapes. Imagine telling 1970s Black Sabbath, one of the greatest metal band of all time, that they had to sell vinyl records. Yeah, how else are they going to get people to listen to their music? It's such a silly thing to say. And honestly, now that I say it like that, it's so silly, but it literally is just a projection of laziness. The people that say these things. I'm gonna make a video going a bit more depth than this, because I've been seeing it all over my feed, and if you're a musician, you probably have too. But it's nothing but a projection of laziness. All you're saying is like, all these people, all they're saying is, I want to just rely on talent and music alone, and I'm going to fully skip out on marketing because, number one, it's outside my comfort zone and I just want to be selfish and just only worry about the stuff I want to worry about. It doesn't work like that in real life, guys. It doesn't. All right. If that was the case, that would be awesome. You know, we could just practice guitar all day and you can just make it big, but it's not that simple, guys. This is just how it is. This is just how the world is. You need to learn some skills to do some things. You need to either if you can do this, like, well played, you get a record label to do the marketing for you, or you can just learn to do it yourself, which is what 99% of you guys watching are going to have to do. Learn the marketing yourself. How to do that? Via posting online. And there's no way around that. If you're not doing this, you're lazy. You're literally, or like, if you refuse to do this, you're lazy, and you're going to have to be fine. You're going to have to be comfortable with getting left behind, because unless you have some sick connections or you have some other amazing plan, which please let me know about, because I'd love to know that if there was another option. But this is literally the equivalent of, let's say we're Ozzy Osbourne, we're back in the 80s and we want to make it big. It's literally the equivalent of being like, yeah, you know what, let me focus on getting oh no, it's like, I'll put it this way, it's like being Ozzy Osbourne back in the 80s and him then being like, no, I don't want to get radio plays, I don't want to get TV music videos, I don't want to sell CDs, because like that's just cringe. I don't want to be a sellout, that's just cringe. Imagine telling musicians in the 80s that had to sell CDs. Do you know how silly you sound? Do you know how actually silly you sound? In fact, no, you don't sound silly, that's just laziness, all right? So get out of that mindset, guys. And here's the last thing I want to say in this very ranty video, is that, does this help? Does having this belief that making content is like for sellouts and just cringe people and for influencers, does this help you in any kind of way? Does this bring your music career one step forward, or does it not affect it at all in either a neutral or negative way? Does it either bring your music career in a positive way or not in a positive way? I'll give you guys a second to think about it. Actually, I don't need to give you guys a second to think about it, because it shouldn't take long. Like, it's anything but a positive for your music career not to take posting online seriously. Like right now, I'm actually genuinely trying to think. Unless you live in Beverly Hills and you've got insane connections with like Hollywood music labels and stuff, I can't think of another way. You're gonna make it without posting online, and that's just how the game is. That's just how it is. You can complain at it all you want. You can say it's unfair. Sure, maybe it is unfair for you, all right? But that's just how it is, and that's how it is for everyone in the game, unless you're super famous and you have family members that are like Justin Bieber or whatever. Then maybe it's a different story. But for the average Joe like me and you, there's no way around it, okay? So that's why I wanted to say in this rant, if I'm gonna leave you guys with like one more like little parable on this phenomena, complaining about posting online being like the vehicle to make it big as a musician in 2026 is the same thing as being Kurt Cobain back in the 90s, complaining at that he had to do he had to make music videos and sell CDs and get on the radio to make it big. How else are you gonna make it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't compute. Now when you put it that way, no, when you put it anyway, like guys, okay, maybe I'm brainwashed, but I just can't think of like an even smart way of putting this. It just doesn't make any sense. But more importantly, does it help you as a musician get your goals? No, it doesn't. So guys, let's leave this clowning of, okay, we can still clown like people that are posting online because it's kind of funny sometimes, but let's leave this idea, especially when it comes to ourselves, of that we don't want to post online and it's like only for like sellouts. And no, it's literally the only way that you're feasibly gonna make it. I'm trying to think of another way. You can. This is the thing, right? No, but you can't. There's no other way. That's the conclusion. But it's funny because I was gonna say you can get radio hits, but it's always, and I've talked to these people, they get like one shot on the radio, and that's awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like that's sick. That's awesome to hear your own tune on like BBC One or BBC Three or whatever. That's awesome, but you're gonna get like 3 minutes of like, yeah, this is sick, and then that's it. If you build up your social media, and this is like, if you know about marketing, if you know about like sales, you know how this works. This is the difference between, won't get into the technical side just yet, but build up your social media, build up your fan base. This is now traffic you own, versus if you have a like a radio hit, that's like traffic you've briefly paid or like managed to get really lucky to get. If you build up your social media, this is now fans and people you own. It sounds so bad, but this is like attention that you own. But anyway, that's for a whole nother video. But yeah, I think that's enough running for this one. If you guys want help one-on-one to grow online as a musician, you can message me on Instagram for that. But actually, before you do that, go and watch my other videos, because they'll help you out probably and get you to know a bit more about what I can offer. If this is your first video watching of me, then I promise I'm not this much of a dickhead in all of my videos, but I just wanted to get this idea off my chest. And if you want to know more about how to grow online as a musician, check out my other videos on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.